Good day, here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assures that all local government units in the country will receive patient transport vehicles or PTVs within the year. During a ceremonial turnover of PTVs at the Pelaez Sports Center in Cagayan de Oro City, Marcos announced that about 985 newly procured PTV units would be distributed nationwide. The president noted that about 567 PTVs have already been distributed this year through the Medical Transport Vehicle Donation Program of the Philippines Charity Sweepstakes Office. Marcos emphasized the importance of safe and immediate transport services for Filipinos who need medical attention. He said that once all municipalities receive their PTVs, the government would achieve 100% coverage for all municipalities in just 3 years. Marcos led a turnover of 91 PTV units to LGUs from northern Mindanao and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao during the event. 85 of the 91 vehicles were given to LGUs in Misamis Oriental, Misamis Occidental, Bukidnon, Camiguin, Llano del Norte, and Llano del Sur. 6 others were distributed to LGU beneficiaries from the BARMM. Marcos said the donation was part of his administration's commitment to providing prompt and affordable health services to all Filipinos. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos will attend a funeral of Pope Francis at Vatican City's St. Peter's Square. Malacanang announced that the first couple would attend the Holy Father's funeral on Saturday, but did not reveal further information on their trip. Marcos will pay his respects to the late pontiff along with other world leaders and VIPs. Those who have been confirmed to attend the funeral include U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania, President Javier Milei of Argentina, the Pope's home country, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen, European Council Head Antonio Costa, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Prince William, Spain's King Philip VI and Queen Letizia, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and his wife Olena Zelenska, among others. Meanwhile, Papal Nuncio to the Philippines Archbishop Charles Brown thanked Filipinos for praying for Pope Francis during his hospitalization until his death on Monday. At the Requiem Mass for the Holy Father that he celebrated with Manila Archbishop Jose Cardinal Advincula at the Manila Cathedral, the Vatican's envoy acknowledged the Filipino faithful's support for the pontiff, especially while he was at the hospital. He also acknowledged how Filipinos responded to his call for prayers for the Pope with great generosity and great love. He said the Pope's strength in his final days was the effect of all the prayers that were offered all over the world. The Vatican official asked Filipinos to continue praying for the soul of Pope Francis. The Department of Education is now preparing support systems for teachers serving in the May 2025 midterm elections. The DepEd recently signed a memorandum of agreement with the Commission on Elections, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine National Police, and other key agencies. It said this interagency collaboration follows President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to ensure a safe, fair, and peaceful electoral process. Key provisions include medical assistance for teachers with election duties, strengthened coordination with law enforcement and guidelines to prevent electioneering and other partisan activities. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines will also offer legal assistance to teachers who may face complaints as they perform their election duties. The DepEd will also activate the Election Task Force, a rapid response unit providing real-time monitoring and incident response. DepEd Secretary Son Angara emphasized the department's commitment to protecting and empowering educators, saying the election is a national act of trust. He said in recognition of their crucial role as frontline guardians of democracy, the DepEd is making sure their service is met with gratitude, preparation, and protection. Taiwan has conveyed its interest to boost exchanges with the Philippines as the government clarifies its travel policy for Filipino officials visiting the island for economic-related purposes. In a statement, Taiwan Minister of Foreign Affairs Lin Shai-lung said Manila's new take on the policies would allow Taiwan to deepen substantive cooperation with the Philippines. Under Memorandum Circular 82 signed on April 15, Philippine government officials are allowed to visit Taiwan for economic, trade, and investment purposes, but they must use ordinary passports and travel without using their official titles. They are also required to report their activities to the Manila Economic and Cultural Office and the Department of Foreign Affairs. Travel restrictions apply strictly to the President, Vice President, Secretary of Foreign Affairs, and Secretary of National Defense. Meanwhile, officials and agencies may receive economic delegations from Taiwan, provided MECO is notified at least 5 days in advance. The Philippines and Taiwan maintain commercial, economic, cultural, and other unofficial relations through MECO and the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office. Taiwan remains the Philippines' 8th largest export market, 9th largest trading partner, and 10th largest source of imports. In our business news, the Department of Energy is optimistic the Philippines will reach its 50% target share of renewable energy in the power generation mix by 2040. Mark Christian Maraliano of the Electric Power Industry Management Bureau said the share of clean energy in the country's total power mix will exceed the 2040 target and even reach 56.9%. This is in line with the Marcos administration's goal of 35% by 2030 and 50% by 2040. Maraliano said the country's generation capacity may reach about 279.19 terawatt-hours by 2024. The DOE has received over 14,000 megawatts of committed power projects until mid-2028, out of which about 11,000 megawatts use clean energy technologies. Maraliano said the DOE will ensure these projects will not have delays. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund expects domestic consumption to remain robust and boost economic growth in the Philippines. This after the IMF lowered its 2025 growth forecast for the Philippines to 5.5% from 6.1%. The multilateral lender traced the downtrend to the lower 2024 quarter 4 growth outturn, as well as external developments, including the direct impact of higher U.S. tariffs, downward revisions to trading partners' growth, and impact of higher uncertainty and financial tightening. Domestic growth, as measured by gross domestic product, expanded only at 5.23% in the last quarter of 2024 from 5.24% in the previous quarter. Full-year growth stood at 5.7%, lower than economic managers' 6% to 6.5% target and IMF's forecast of 5.8%. The IMF said, aside from domestic consumption, lower inflation and a low unemployment may support growth. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The Pna Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under the PNA News. I am Stephanie Civiliano. This is the Pna Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.